I ask for the truth on behalf of Cassie Degler Egnatz concerning relationship issues, and I ask this in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the crow, the carrier of souls from darkness into light. And we cut the tarot like so for you, Cassie, and then we'll deal out 3 cards for you, and let's just see where we go from here. The first card we deal represents your recent past. Because your question was about relationships, then of course it will be your recent past in this relationship. The recent past in the sense of about a moon phase behind. About 3 or 4 weeks or so ago, you could say, couldn't you? Then the next card we deal is Cassie in the present right now. So we have recent past influence, the present influence, and then finally the immediate future influence. This will be Cassie in the immediate future. Just like where the recent past was a moon phase behind, this immediate future, like the recent past, but it'll be a moon phase ahead. That's only 7 days, about 3 or 4 weeks or so ahead there. So let's see what's going on, and let's just reveal what's happening here. We'll flip each card in turn. So the first card that was dealt, of course, was the recent past, wasn't it? I suppose a timeline, isn't it, where you go beginning, middle and end or whatever. And around about the beginning, which is about 3 or 4 weeks or so ago, concerning this relationship question, there were other things involved as well, weren't there? Such as daughters in prison, something to do with drugs and wanting to contact somebody from the other side. But with there being like a bit of a shopping list going on, I thought we'd just try and focus on one thing, and then that way we can see what's going on. So we just flip the card there very slowly there, just not to disturb the energy or anything like that. And straight away you got this first card here there. And the first card is the Moon. The Moon. In the tarot deck, you have 2 decks really. You have the Major Arcana and the Minor Arcana. The Major Arcana is your first 22 esoteric cards. That's what came first, isn't it? And then the Minor Arcana, the 56 Minor Arcana, where your playing cards come from. But if you knew what they were, you wouldn't play games with them really. But that's by and by. The Minor Arcana is the elemental deck, isn't it really? Fire, water and earth, things like that going on there. You've got, though, a Major Arcana card. With Minor Arcana cards, you've got power to change things, but with Major Arcana cards, you haven't. They're more permanent. So it looks as though just recently there, you could say that whatever was going on, you didn't really have much power over it in order to change it, or in the sense to change it there. If you get what I mean. Now the Moon often represents deception, because in a way the Moon is a bit of a deception, isn't it? People say moonlight, don't they? I don't know if you've ever heard them say that, moonlight. When really that's a deception, that's a bit of a lie, isn't it? Because no such thing as moonlight, it's reflected sunlight, it's a reflection, isn't it? And this is what seems to have been going on with you just lately, in the sense of things have been a bit of a reflection. The Moon also represents introspection. That sort of thing where you go within yourself sometimes. But nevertheless, this particular deck, Crow here, Crow's energy, Crow's magic seems to be locking on to the fact that really you were deceiving yourself in some way, in the sense of delusion. You were deluded in some way. Because we're focusing on the relationship, then of course whatever it was going on in your relationship over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so indicates that there was delusion going on, in the sense you were fooling yourself, telling yourself something but knowing, or either not knowing, I don't know, but certainly telling yourself something that clearly wasn't true, but if only it were, but you know, if only it were, so let's just say it is because we want it to be. There is the question, will he come back? Maybe that question has been going around for a while. I would hazard a guess it has been. Notice here where you've got like the symbols of the 3 Abrahamic religions there, the Star of David, which is the Jewish thing, the crucifix there, the cross, or the Celtic cross, or whatever, and then the crescent, and notice how it's there, not there. Why there? Well, in a normal tarot deck, such a thing, tarot really is supposed to be designed where you have a triangle above and a square below. A triangle on top of a square, and then the triangle is the triangle of spirit, and then the square is the square of matter. As if what happens in the spirit of the card, or what's drawn there or depicted there, is the essence of the card, and then of course below is the earthly effect that it has. Notice the earthly effect here. This seems to be done pretty well here. Is of course the 3 Abrahamic religions, as if to indicate the underworld. In some decks, like the Tarot of Marseille, that tends to do it quite well, where you've got wolves howling at the moon, as they don't howl at the moon, but you know what I mean. They represent the shadow, don't they? So they are howling at the moon, as you would say. There, and by a lake with a crayfish, and the crayfish would symbolise the truth, and of course under the surface, as you would say, a bit like a lake. When you look at a lake, it looks all serene, all the little boats bobbing up and down, and you can feed the ducks or whatever, but under the surface there's nothing but rubbish. Old fridges, bikes, anything people can throw in that lake will be there under the surface. We've noticed this with all the plastics that are in the sea and the oceans. The oceans look quite nice at the surface, but underneath is nothing but the waste and the rubbish that we've thrown in it. And that's a sad indictment on mankind, but that's another subject. But it sort of runs into this, what's been going on with you just recently, in the sense that the truth exists under the surface. So although the moon represents delusion and lunacy, it nevertheless at the same time, the very essence of it is truth. Because without truth, how do you know what the lies are? How do you know what the deception is, or the delusion? How do you know what that is? So the truth is in the underworld, the home truths under the surface have always been there for you, and this is really what's been said here. Crow has been very sort of analytical, hasn't he? Let's see what Crow has to offer for the present. Let's see what the tarot has to offer here. Let's just rotate that nice and slow again. Notice again, look at this, the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords. This is a minor arcana card. Swords the suit of swords, it's actually the suit of spades, isn't it? But the suit of swords is related or connected to the element of air. The page is linked to the earthly part of, so you could say the earthly part of air, couldn't you? Really, in that sense. Notice there's bats here. The bats. So you just sort of hear the wings flapping, can't you, in the darkness? But nevertheless, it indicates that you are captivated by something, you are entranced by something, I would say. Actually, not so much something, though, there. Casting more somebody. And it seems as though, and maybe this is what the delusion is, this is what the lunacy has just recently been, in the sense of you've been captivated by somebody so much and taken in by them. I mean, you're asking, will they come back? That is the sort of question. Will they come back? And really, will they come back? The basic answer is, what do you think? Not so much what do you want, but what do you think? Will they come back? And then this runs from one thing into another, because whatever it is, if it's what you want, then clearly what you want is delusional, is lunacy, is virtually madness, isn't it? Because it's just what you want. Is it what you need? That's another question. But of course, being captivated by somebody, being taken in by it, as you would say, wanting it back. Why would you want it back? So you can be a family again, so we can all be together again. So it's not like it is now anymore. But what was it that split you up in the first place? And is there just not a chance of that happening again? I don't know. You can delude yourself, as you have been doing, into thinking that maybe, well, it probably won't happen again. But remember, as Einstein sort of pointed out, that doing the same experiment over and over again, expecting a different result each time, is basically the definition of madness, isn't it? The definition of lunacy, in that sense. A bit like watching a film, seeing somebody fall off the horse, and then going watching it again, hoping that they wouldn't do it again the next time. It's that sort of thing, isn't it? And maybe you're that captivated, that taken in by it, that entranced by what's been going on just recently, and you're taken in and entranced right now, that nothing seems to be registering at all from a relationship point of view. Yes, you did ask if somebody had a message for you from the other side, but as we said before, try and keep this focused. We can, if we do messages from the other side, we can probably try that again with another thing. But of course, you said it was your first time, didn't you? So of course, shopping lists, I suppose, are welcome, and we just have to take what we think is priority. And this is priority, isn't it? This relationship issue is priority, because that's what seems to be there. Let's see what's happening or about to happen in the immediate future. Remember what we've established already about what's happened and what is happening. What is about to happen, as you would say. We'll just flip that card. And there, as you can see, you've got the 9 of coins. Got a bit of Virgo going on there, hasn't it? The 9 of coins. That's an interesting card. Notice how that's another minor arcana card. What did we say about minor arcana cards? Well, with minor arcana cards, we have power to change things. Whereas major arcana cards, we don't. They're a bit more permanent. Doesn't necessarily mean because they're more permanent, they're negative, of course. In your case, it's more introspective, not so much negative, but certainly more eye-opening. And you had no power over the past. I mean, we've got no power over the past anyway now, have we, really? The only power we have over it, in the sense of, if we define ourselves by it, that's the only power we have over it, by refusing to define ourselves by the past and define ourselves by the present, in the sense, not defining ourselves by what we did in the past, but define ourselves by what we're doing now. In the sense of, look, we've got these two minor arcana and energies here, as you could say, in the present and in the immediate future, which indicates that you have power to change things in the immediate future, and also you have power to change things now, although captivated and entranced and taken in by and the power of the moon there has really taken in, the lunacy and the delusion has really taken hold. Nevertheless, you've got an opportunity now to change all this. On to the immediate future with the Nine of Coins. Crowley often refers to the Nine of Coins, well, not often, but does refer to the Nine of Coins as the Lord of Happiness. This tends to focus on the harmony that comes. 9, of course, is a watery number, isn't it? Any number between 4 and 9. The numbers 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, they are to do with water. So because the coins is earth, you could call this card the watery part of earth, couldn't you? In that regard. Notice the lion there. Notice the lion brother represents courage. Ask for what you want. That's what the message seems to be for you there. And other cats. Notice the tiger. Is that the jaguar as well, in the sense you will have an opportunity to reclaim what's yours, and also the tiger giving you the ability to take charge of the situation. Just trust in yourself that you can do this and that'll be okay, but just giving you the courage there. But notice how the cats, of course, are four-legged spirits, aren't they? And four-legged spirits protect. Why do they protect? Well, because they walk on the earth, and because they walk on the earth, that earth spirits are thought to protect. Like the birds of the air here, as you would say, although in the moon the crow there, crow is king, remember at the moment, as we use the crow's magic tarot, the crow is king. And crow is one of the bird people, the bird spirits. And the birds, they carry the messages from the heavens to the earth, don't they? So they're thought to be the guides of bringing guidance. And I suppose there has been guidance in the recent past, but just in the form of sort of trying to wake you up and to say, hello, this isn't real, this is lunacy, this is madness. And it's sort of carried on through here into the present, where you're captivated by it, believing in the lies that you've been telling yourself. Not only have you been deluded, not only have you sort of entered into lunacy, but that lunacy is carried forward, and now you believe the lies that you're telling yourself, and it's effectively true. And this is the problem when we start believing our own lies. It's one thing when other people lie to us. We can blame them for doing it, but who do we blame? Who is to blame when we lie to ourselves? This is the truth, isn't it? This is the truth, Cassie. We can't put I suppose icing sugar on it and try and pretend that this is going to go away. But the immediate future indicates that there is harmony coming. There is happiness on the way. Between now and this time next month, so you could say sort of around about the end of January, as you would say beginning of February time, because we're just hitting New Year now. It's New Year's Eve now, isn't it? And and of course a month on from then, where will you be? Well, you'll be more. There'll be more harmony, more happiness. Happiness, of course, is the effect of happenings. Joy, one can experience joy even though one may be materially or financially worse off, or whatever, from a material point of view, but nevertheless, if one has joy in one's heart, it's different. So joy, don't get joy and happiness mixed up, in the sense of, if this is about your relationship and will he come back, don't delude yourself, don't fool yourself, which you have been doing and which you are doing now, into being captivated and entranced by this getting back together thing. The happiness, of course, that is maybe what makes you happy, the thought of what you want happening when you know it won't. But nevertheless, what will happen is there will be harmony. You will be able to reclaim what is yours. You will be able to take charge of the situation again. I mean, you were saying you've virtually adopted your grandchildren because of the predicament that you found yourself in with your daughter, and so on. And this one thing leads to another. Unfortunately, just sometimes we have to look after number one. And the immediate family or whatever it is. Nice to think that there could be somebody there helping you, or being a breadwinner or whatever. But the truth of the matter is, you will gain control. You will be able to reclaim what was yours once again by you taking charge, not relying on somebody else to enter your life or come back again to just bring about a situation that probably split it up in the first place, by deluding yourself, by fooling yourself, by lying to yourself that things will be okay again, to repeat what the devil you know as opposed to the devil you don't know is another thing. But to be captivated by that right now, you've got the power to change this. Reclaim what's yours, move forward, move on, and get the harmony that you deserve by taking control. Allow Tiger Spirit to guide you and heal you and protect you with self-control. You take control. Don't allow the lies and the lunacy to control you. You control it. Ask for what you want, and you'll be surprised what you can do yourself alone for now. If there's another romance, another relationship down the road, a bit later on in the year even, that's by and by. But let's deal with what's happening now. Define yourself by what you're doing now, and don't fall into the trap of defining yourself by what you did then, which is in the past, and which is just a complete lie, a complete delusion, a complete madness, really. This is not about the past, this is about you now, because then by you dealing with this now, by dealing with what it is you're captivated with, or by who you are captivated by, as you would say, but by dealing with that, you can take control again. You can reclaim what's yours. You can ask for what you want and take charge of the situation. So with that, for now, Cassie, these cards have spoken. Blessed be to Crow.